Hi guys, happy Friday. Popping on to go over March's mystery box. And that was on Hopi Tobacco. So here it is. So every month we have a new herb of the month. We have a program called Build Your Own Home Apothecary. And I started that to get you familiar with a bunch of different things and mainly to look them up, identify them, get to see what they look like, touch them, feel them, work with them, see if you like them, and how you can incorporate them into your own home apothecary. So this month was Hopi Tobacco, and I did Hopi Tobacco, which is different than it's traditional tobacco, different than commercial tobacco or corporate tobacco. It's actually healing, and what they did to tobacco is turned it into a cigarette when it's actually really medicinal. It's one of the 4 sacred herbs. It's the first sacred herb that was given to us from the Creator, and it's used to bless all your other herbs. So that's why I did it this month, being that it was the spring equinox, and really wanted to get people to know the difference, because so many things, anything that has healing properties, they like to change the genetics of it and turn it into the bad guy. But traditional tobacco is really healing, and we'll go into that a little bit here now. But the medicine wheel is also something that I wanted to talk about a little bit with the spring equinox. So the medicine wheel is something that represents all of life. And the one that I have, they're all different as far as whoever creates them. But the one that I have represents all souls, all lost souls, dead or alive. And when I always do my medicines according to the cycles of the moon. So the medicine wheel, I'll go into it more this when it gets nice out and we can get out there. But it represents the center of creation in the middle. I have actually 3 big stones in the middle, which represent the sun, the moon, and the earth, the center of creation. It also has the 4 directions, north, south, east, and west, which represent the cycles of life. And it also does the 3 different dimensions, the upper, the center, and the lower. So there's a lot to the medicine wheel, and if you're into herbalism, it's something to look into, because all the plant, the spring equinox represents the start of the astrological new year. So everything is connected, and it's something that you really should learn if you're getting into herbalism. So anyway, here's the mystery box. And right on top, there's the first feather that I've included in any of these. And these are from a mourning dove. And feathers are actually healing. Look it up. I'm not going to go into everything, but feathers were used for healing, and they also represent different things when used in medicine. So the first feather that I'm giving away is this one, and everyone that has one, they're really sacred. So look up the healing purposes of feathers. And then there's a cute little bamboo bag. These are so fun. I love putting them together, and I hope that you're enjoying them too, guys. I really just want you to deep dive into all these things. Hi, Terry. How's it going? I really couldn't even start to begin to tell you the benefits of everything that I have in here, because it's so much. So I'll give you a few things here and there, but really look them up and get to know them. And one by one, you'll get to know them better. So in the bag, I put a little sprig of cedar, which is also medicinal. You can use it for tea if you'd like, but I put it in there because it's also one of the 4 sacred herbs. And the first one, like I said, is tobacco. Hi, Wendy. How's it going? Happy Friday, guys. And the second one is sage, and the fourth one is sweetgrass. And in here, there's Hopi tobacco seeds. And these are the traditional Hopi tobacco. I did seeds in the last mystery box, so this time I did the actual seed pods. In each of those pods, there's actually hundreds of seeds. So if you got seeds last month, I would use those to grow and save these ones for something special, because these, if you hear them, they're like little maracas. You can do all kinds of things for them, but I did 3 to signify the trilogy, the sun, the moon, and the earth for the spring equinox. So these are really special, and you can keep it. This is a little medicine bag that you got started now. You could keep them in there and add your little feather to it and your little cedar sprigs and anything else you'd like to put in there that's special to you. And let's see what else. And then Hopi tobacco. This is what it looks like. It's all cured really good. And these are a sorry excuse for tobacco plants, but they're really potent. Hi, Mike. How's it going? Happy Friday. Hi, Lisa. Anyway, I got a late start on growing last year, so all my things were kind of miniature, but these are still good. As your tobacco plant grows, usually the leaves are pretty big. They're probably about this big, just like a mullein plant or something. And so these are really little, but they are really potent because they're really little and concentrated. So I want you to be careful with these. But the only thing that they're used in ceremony, like I said, to bless all your other herbs. And you just need a tiny little bit. You can crush these all up and keep them in something glass. They're in plastic, but I'd get them out of there. A lot of the things they have are in plastic just because that's all I have, to ship with. But all this stuff really should be in glass. So anyway, to do a tea with this, you would just take 1/4 teaspoon to a cup of water. And that does amazing things. So anyway, one thing that it does do is it's good for parasite cleanse, all kinds of things, but you want to be careful with this. It's not a tea that you drink all the time. It's a tea that if you have something that you really want to knock out, this is what you go to. It has to really be respected. So please, I have all kinds of links in the group that I put. Look in the featured section. Keep tobacco sacred. This is not your commercial tobacco. This is sacred, the most sacred herb there is. So, like I said, it's used to bless everything else. So please, cherish it and use it that way. But in lieu of COVID, this is something that's very important to have. Just if you did a tea for 5 days, it would help it helps people with COVID, with the aftermath. People that have long COVID, still don't have their taste or smell. For taste or smell, you can also do lemon, suck on raw lemon until it comes back. But taste or smell, it helps fight against the spike protein and the damage done by the mRNA vaccines. So definitely look up nicotine. You'll see some things going on the internet and stuff that say like to use nicotine patches and that kind of stuff. But of course, I like the real deal. You don't need a lot. If you want help with dosing, call me. You can get a hold of me at any time and I'll help you through it. But please, it's very potent stuff. This is actually 9% nicotine and it is not addictive. Nicotine is not addictive. The only reason commercial cigarettes are addictive is because of the 1,000 other things in there. The nicotine itself is not addictive. It's medicinal. And mine is 9%, okay, nicotine. When you get a cigarette, that's not even 1%. So if you want to know how powerful that is, if you actually rolled this up and smoked a cigarette of this, you would turn green and get sick as heck. So I don't suggest doing that. But get your seeds planted now, guys, because you'll definitely be able to harvest some tobacco if you get your seeds going, and you'll have some decent sized plants. They love to be in the ground. They are poisonous plants, so don't put them with your vegetables. Have them, you know, in their own little area. So there's that. Definitely look it up. I did put a couple really good links in the featured section in the group. So if you missed them, look for it. And then what else do we got here? Some coriander seed, which is also cilantro. When coriander seeds are grown, they're known as cilantro. These are good for heavy metal detox. That's why I got them in there. You can grow them. You can also use just the cilantro seeds as a spice when you're cooking. So there's different ways to do it. How's it going, Mark? Nice to see you on here. And Barefoot Gardener, thanks for joining us. South American tobacco? No, it's actually the original Hopi tobacco. I was gifted it from an elder years ago, along with the original hemp seed and some gem glass corn. So it's really, really, really old. They're the original strains, and they're very, very sacred. So hi Missy, how's it going? Hi Susan. And then I put in a little funnel for your medicine making if you didn't have one. Something else to add to your apothecary. And here's some of the gem glass corn. Here's some of the seeds. So that's, again, the original, oh, you can't really see it. The original gem glass corn. This is what all the other corn derived from. And grow it. Get this stuff in the ground. Now, when you're only doing a little bit of corn like this, you don't want to do a row. You want to do a patch. That way they all pollinate each other. Hi, Joanne. Thanks for joining. But you want to grow a patch. So I did 11 because I'm really particular on how many things I plant together. I'm all about the numbers. So get these planted too. The corn is amazing. And you can save one of them for seed and do the rest. Last year I didn't get much, so I just went for seed on mine. But let's see. And then I got some paper birch bark. And the birch tree, which I love, is where you get your chaga from, which I'm still looking to replenish my stock of chaga. But birch bark, paper birch bark, is actually medicinal too. I use it in teas. I've used it in salves, but in teas it's really good for your kidneys, flushing everything out, your urinary tract, everything like that. So look into birch bark. It's really, really medicinal. Good stuff. It can also start a fire. Good thing for survival and everything else like that. Okay, and then I have some Job's Tears. These are seeds. And they actually, if you look at them, when you take them out of there, they're seeds. You can plant them in the ground. They look like just little bulbs. Let me pull one out. So they look like a little bulb. That pointy part with the grain coming out sticks up out of the dirt, and that bottom part that's flatter goes to the dirt. Just cover it up a little bit, and you can grow your own beads. And if you want to read an interesting story, I'm not big into religion, but the story of Job is actually a story in the Bible about faith, and it's an amazing story. And anyway, so you can either plant these or you can use them as beads if you don't want to plant them. But if you plant them, you will grow your own beads. So when it grows, it looks like corn, a corn stalk, and then it actually shoots out a grain just like corn does. And that grain I've actually saved, but I haven't used it much, but it's really nutritional if you want to look into that too. And then all of these little strings of beads start shooting out, and they are black and green and yellow and earthy colors. And then after you pick them all and they cure, they turn to stone about 10 days later. So you can actually grow your own beads. And here's the mandala that I made, and this has 108 stones on it. Look it up. Very, very special to me. And I actually found from an old chandelier a lady was getting rid of some teardrop crystals. So appropriately, I have this on here. But look at I mean, it's crazy. They really look like stone. So cool that you can grow your own beads, guys. This is such a fun plant. And then I also made, I did some sun catchers. I don't know if I have one I can grab, but you can do a sun catcher. And then I did some Greek worry beads. So there's all kinds of things. Anything you can do, jewelry, anything that you do, but really cool. Really cool plant to grow if you want to try it out. I suggest you try it. Let's see, what else do we got in here? Okay. Some bentonite clay. This is something that I wanted you to have for your apothecary. Bentonite clay, it's a good binder. It also helps detoxify things in the body. It's, look it up, so many things. The one that I use is an Aztec one, but you know, get a good source of it. Good for your teeth. I use it in toothpaste along with coconut oil. Bentonite clay, look it up. So, let's see. Carob powder. Okay, and then there's some carob powder. And that is actually a healthier form of cacao. Cocoa, I guess. I call it cacao. It's a healthier form of cocoa, and it's so good. You can put it in your teas and your coffee. You can bake with it. I just wanted you to try a little bit about it and look it up. It's actually a healthier form of chocolate, so look it up. Carob powder, C-A-R-O-B. And then a little bar of soap, handmade soap. This one's actually tobacco flower. Everyone got something different. But these are all organic soaps made with goat's milk. Just so you know, because they're not marked that way, but that's what they are. So enjoy the soaps, and I have those always in the apothecary. What else? Some goldenrod. I put some goldenrod in there because allergy season is upon us, and goldenrod is good for allergies among many other things, so you can make a tea with it. Look it up. What else is in here? And some Labrador tea. That's another, they call it swamp tea, but look it up. It's got all kinds of benefits, antioxidant. It's really good for you. Hi, Chris. Thanks for joining. Look it up, Labrador tea. And then I gave you some organic popcorn so you can actually make some old school popcorn without the microwave and actually remember how good and tasty it is. You can add some salt to it or butter, but you don't even really need it. It's so good when you have some good popcorn. It's good if you cook it in some coconut oil too. Hi, Claudia. Hi, Casey. Thanks for joining. Happy Friday. And the last thing in the box is some chia seeds. Let's see. Let me open it up. So I just wrote on here chia water. So I just gave you a little bag of chia. Let me pull it out so everyone can see. Chia is an Aztec superfood. And I used to use it for years before I started using hemp as much for nutrition. And I still do use chia. But just know when you use chia seeds, you never want to eat them raw. You can actually really, really damage yourself if you eat them raw, because you have to at least soak them for 15 minutes, because what they do is they actually expand. So if you eat them raw, they could actually expand in your body and cause blockages in all kinds of places and big problems. So never eat them raw, and let anyone you know the same, because a lot of people don't know that, and it could be really bad for you. Hi, April. Thanks for joining. So anyway, I just gave you a little bit to try, and what I want you to do with it is actually, I put the directions on there. You just add this bag to a cup of water, and you wait 15 minutes, and you just drink that cup of water. And what that will do is actually feed the microbiome in your gut. And, you know, most of our health, actually, the central part of our health and immune system lies in the gut. So you want to keep that microbiome healthy, especially with all these parasite cleanses and stuff I see going on right now. Like, yes, it's important to do that, but you also have good microbiome in your gut that you don't want to get rid of. So you got to be really careful doing any parasite cleansing. I'm going to be doing a video on that soon because there's so much contradicting information about it. So I'm just going to give my opinion at some point here. I already did touch base on my thoughts on ivermectin a couple of videos ago. So look it up. And I really don't recommend that, honestly. So chia, too, you can also use this to make jams, pudding. It's a thickener. You don't need pectin. Look it up. Chia, you can do so many things with this, guys. Amazing stuff. So, okay, that's it for the mystery box. I hope everybody enjoyed them. If you have any questions on anything, just reach out to me. And so long, March. That's my last March thing to do. We're going into April, and hopefully Mother Nature starts agreeing with the weather. Michigan, actually, it just missed me by a couple miles. I'm on the very outskirts, but Michigan got hit hard. The woods, all northern Michigan from here to above the bridge are just decimated. The woods took a beating. They're going to be unsafe, and well, it's going to take a good 10 years to recover from the damage going on in Michigan right now. So, hi Pam, thanks for joining. So anyway, our herb of the month going into April. April's my favorite month as far as holidays go because, of course, we have 420 on April 20th, which is Cannabis Awareness Day. And then April 21st is Hemp Day. And of course, I'm Mother Hemp, so I love Hemp Day. And the 22nd is Earth Day, which is, of course, another one of my favorites. So I'm going to do a lot of videos through April because I've really been educating and advocating for the cannabis plant for over 30 years now. And it's just crazy that we still are not progressing forward like we should be. So I'm going to really try to get all that information out there in April. So the herb of the month in April is going to be cannabis or hemp, whatever you want to call it. Cannabis, hemp, they're both the same exact thing. Cannabis is cannabis is cannabis. And we'll go over this because so many people don't realize this because there's so much propaganda and lies, and you know, that's why I'm going to pull out my Jack Hare book. We're going to do some educating through April. So we're going to go over the endocannabinoid system, which is the major body system that creates homeostasis in your body. And without homeostasis, it leads to other diseases. So, and this has been discovered over 30 years now. So if you're going to any doctor and they don't know, your first question should be, do you know what the endocannabinoid system is? And if they don't, well, then they're not fit to be a doctor as far as I'm concerned. Okay? Because with all the information that we have today, this stuff is still not in the medical journals. Doctors are still not taught about it. It's needed for homeostasis. Cannabis, hemp, whatever you want to call it, weed, ganja, Mary Jane, cannabis. We are symbiotic with this plant. We need it. We need it for nutrients. We need it for medicine. It's not a cure-all. That's why I do what I do, because it's not a cure-all. You need other things with it. Diet, scientific nutrition. You need exercise. You need, all kinds of things. So anyway, cannabis, stay tuned. We are really going to learn about cannabis this month. And hope you have a good weekend. Thanks for joining.